on the coop today. Joe added this whole wall and put a window in. We also have a wall on this side now, so we're turning the old run into the new coop, and we're going to build a new run that extends all the way out. This is an 8-foot bed out probably about to the end of this, and then over and all the way back, so that they have probably about an 8-foot by 8-foot space to run around in on top of the inside of their current run, and then their coop. They'll have plenty of space to roam. We're adding chicken wire to the bottom of our coop just to keep extra protection in there. We've also added a couple of nesting boxes inside here. So now they have 3 inside that smaller coop and then 2 out here. Hi guys, you hanging out in the nice cool air? So nice, blowing in the wind. And then we're gonna rip out this garden bed probably here shortly. The plants are kind of petering out. I know you can probably see there's some cherry tomatoes left, but there's really not a whole lot growing in here, so we're gonna take this bed out. Let's see, we've already started ripping out some of our basil. We took out the Thai basil. I gave my best friend a bouquet of just regular organic basil, so I'm going to harvest what I can off of these ones and rip these out. I've already ripped out one of the purple ones, and this one I'll probably just rip out. Let's see what else. Their pepper plants are still growing strong, looks really healthy. We're saving each of the peppers as they come, and I'm letting them dry out, and I'm going to grind them into a powder. Our okra plants have been kind of attacked by ants. Let's see if I can show y'all. Yep, so they're like boring into this. So I really don't know what to do about that. They'll probably just be ripped out as well. Lavender plants are okay. They're not doing great, not doing terrible. These tomato plants are still going strong, so we will be leaving these in for a little bit longer. They're actually starting to trellis up. We had ripped out our cucumber plant, so these are starting to take over our trellis, and we do have a new cucumber plant in there growing. And we got some more chicks hanging out down here in a nice cool garden. Hi guys, hi Winnie, hi Oscar. What you doing? Tell me. Oh, you're so pretty, Winnie. You're so pretty. Yes, you are. Enough chicken talk. All right, I ripped out a majority of our plants. These are Noir de Carme melons. We got a pretty decent harvest off of them, but the chickens loved picking at the plants, both the leaves and the actual melons themselves. So we picked them out, except I left this one because there is a melon still ripening right there. It looks like it'll probably be ready in about a day or so. I did put chicken wire around these ones so that they'll hopefully leave these ones alone. And then this one has a few small ones growing. We'll see if we can get anything sizable off of those. Our bell pepper plants are still also going strong. Not super huge producers this year, so I'm saving some of the seeds. Why don't we deadhead some marigolds while we're at it. I am saving some of the seeds from these just so we can regrow them because they're good snacking peppers for the kids. I still have plenty of fruit growing on them. They're just, I don't know, they haven't been like super prolific like I had been hoping. We did take out all of our corn that was here. We harvested 3 decent sized ears of corn. My late crop of tomato plants are growing and doing great. They got mixed up when we planted everything in here, so I honestly don't know which varieties each of these are. I know we planted, I think one of them, at least 1 or 2 are Berry's Crazy Cherry. I'm thinking this one and this one might be Berry's Crazy Cherry. I'm already seeing like a decent size like little branch of flower buds that are coming out. These are our bush bean plants that they flower, but I never see any fruit come off of them, so I'm gonna keep growing them and see. I'm not sure if my chickens are eating them or if they're just it's too hot for them, but those are there. I did have to rip out 2 of my zucchini plants. I don't know if you saw on the one of my previous videos. I tried to do some vine borer extraction, but it did not work. They ended up dying. So this is my one remaining one. These are yellow squash, which we've harvested one off, but it did have some bug damage, so I put it in the compost. And then these are the remaining vines. This one's looking a little sad, and I don't know which ones these are because they all got mixed up. But we're gonna move the other bed way down here on this end, which will get some afternoon shade. So if you have suggestions on plants to plant in partial shade, let me know. And this is actually where our new chicken likes to lay her eggs. So she hasn't laid one yet today. We have been out here working on the coop though, so I'm thinking that's why. But she's got a little hidden nest back here, so I don't, when I mow this area, I do not mow in that spot because I don't want to ruin her egg laying spot. And my husband Joe. What are we working on now? Cleaning up?
Yep.
Alright, well we're gonna run to the Tractor Supply and the hardware store and get the remaining tools. Fiona, you wanna say hi? You haven't been introduced on here yet. We finally have an egg layer. We got Fiona, found her on Facebook Marketplace. You're so pretty. And she does lay typically about 1 egg a day. I'm wondering if she's going to her spot to go lay. That would be fabulous. She's only missed 1 day so far, and then the next day, after she missed a day of laying, she laid very early in the morning, which is unusual for her. She usually lays in the afternoon. So I'm thinking she was either going to skip today or she's going to lay this afternoon while we are at the store. Hey Fifi! Fiona! What you doing, good girl? You come say hi? She's super friendly. Probably the friendliest chicken that we have right now. She definitely has a personality. She's a great forager, which is awesome. All of our chickens seem to so far really like foraging. Oh, hello. Oh, hello. You're so pretty. What? Who, me? Who, me? What you doing? What you doing, pretty girl? What you doing? But she is an Isa Brown. Well, at least that's what we were told. She was an Isa Brown. She lays like a light brown colored egg. Super great personality, super friendly, doesn't mind being picked up. When we come outside, she is typically the one, like she'll hear the door open and she'll come running to the gate of our little pen and make sure she's greeting us. She's very talkative. She's got lots of fun noises she makes. But she's kind of become one of our favorite girls, not only because she's producing, but just she's got such a great personality. We do have some chicks that we thankfully received in the mail before all of this post office stuff is happening. So we have a buff Orpington chick, and we have it was supposed to be an Americana, and we're pretty sure it's actually an Easter egger. It's not a true Americana because it does not have the muffs and the beard that true Americanas should have. Hey, you pretty girl. Hey, you pretty girl. You messing with that grass that I was picking? It's growing through the fence, so don't know what that's about. I don't know what that's about. But that's our pretty girl, huh, Fiona? Her name was Fluffy before we got her, but we named her Fiona because we love human names for our animals. Here's our garden, you guys. It's definitely transitioning out of being a really lush green garden, and we're getting ready to plant all of our fall stuff. It's still a little warm for it, so I haven't transplanted anything, but there it is. Oh, and I forgot to mention, we actually had potatoes for dinner. I think this was at least a month or so ago, and I saw that one of the potatoes had an eye on it, so I cut the eye off, cooked the rest of them, and now we have potatoes growing. And I've been mounding them up. I actually planted it, so it's in a container, planted it about halfway, and then it sprouted from there, and then I mounded it up just a little bit, and up. I'm probably gonna do it again either today or tomorrow. But it's looking super healthy, so we may not get like a massive harvest of potatoes. It might be like one meal's worth, but to me, it's worth it. I don't know which color potato these ones are, because we had actually planted a few of them, some in here which never came, so that's about the level of the soil where it was before we started mounding it. But we had purple ones and some yellow ones, and they're just small little round potatoes, so we'll see what pops out. At least something's growing, and I'm definitely a gardener of the mind that, hey, like, why not try it? It's worth it just to try. But there's our pretty coop. I love it. Joe's doing such a great job. We still have to put the wood that we're using over here, we're going to put it over here, and we're also going to make inserts for the door so that we can take them out in the summer to allow airflow, and then put them in the winter, and we're going to add another window on the side. There we go.
Picture of it?
Yeah.
I want to put my hand next to it.
Why don't you do it right now? Alright, so we're doing some coop renovations, and you just saw the time lapse taking out my tomato garden. I do have a pumpkin plant that I'm moving over, but otherwise this is actually I'm going to take the frame out. I'm trying to take most of the soil and disperse it into the rest of the garden. I'm going to take the frame off and put it way down here on the end. Hopefully do some fall planting in there, but the soil looks really good, so I'm really pleased with the color and the texture of the soil. It looks like it still has a lot of nutrients in it. I'll still add some compost just to be safe. There's some of my birds. Let's see, Oscar, Winnie, and John Ralphio. That's John Ralphio, the biggest one. Some other birds. Oh, there's Mona Lisa. And Pretty Girl, she's finally back with everyone else, but they're kind of being mean to her, so she's got to get reintroduced to the flock. Hey, Pretty Girl! Mona Lisa. Oh, and there's Ruby too. These are all the tomato plants I just ripped out of here. We're going to put them in the burn pile. We actually have a fire pit way over there. We're going to get some gravel to put at the bottom of the fire pit, and then put all the tomato plants in there and have a little bonfire. And yeah, tomorrow our goal is to do the okra plants. They've just kind of been pest riddled since we've gotten them. They've had aphids, they've had ants, they've had everything. All the okra right now has ants like boring inside of the okra. So I'm going to rip those out and save some seeds and maybe try again next year. This is the harvest of tomatoes that I got off of the plants that I just picked out. A lot of it is green. We'll see if any of them ripen. We might do some like fried green tomatoes, but not bad for a garden that's already petering out and we've been harvesting from every day. Jalapeno plants are still doing well. Basil's petering out. I think I already mentioned that I gave my best friend a bouquet of basil today. So I'm going to move the pumpkin plants actually in here so that they have a little bit of shade going on between these plants that are still in there. And all of our transplants from the video that Mia and I did of starting our fall seeds, I'm going to move those out hopefully tomorrow, if not next weekend. They're still pretty puny size-wise, but I can see that their roots are poking out of the bottom, and they're pretty big starter pots. So I'm hoping, since they have well-established root systems, they'll take. But yeah, so we'll keep you posted on the Coop renovations. I have to paint tomorrow too. We have a pretty hefty to-do list. We're enclosing the bottom of this, and then my husband and I are doing kind of like a shiplap style siding. We're gonna do the door and this side tomorrow. The wall on the side's already done. We're gonna add a window to that eventually. And we have to enclose the bottom over here. We have a little box fan to give them some cool air when it gets really hot. So we're gonna do kind of something unique there to make sure that they get air. Oh my gosh, you have to see this chicken. He's ridiculous. Can you see him in the window? John Ralphio. What are you doing? You gonna get off? Boop! There he goes. They're already exploring the dirt. What's in there? What's in there? What's in there? Alright, well, back to chores. So here are the final restoration projects, I guess, for this weekend. Joe added, well, we both did this over the week. We added some wood to kind of look like shiplap. I painted it white. We added wood down here, also painted it white. We still have a little more painting to do. We still need to do the door. The door needs to be, the wood needs to be added to the door, and then this panel. But we did get this side. Let's see if I can show you. Yep, so there's that side. We're probably going to add a window to that side as well. And so yeah, Joe added the window. So now we can close it when it's cold out and we want to keep them warm, and we can open it to get some ventilation during the day. I moved all the dirt from this bed. I ripped up all the tomatoes, moved all the dirt from this bed, and I added it to the rest of the beds. Fifi's gonna say hi and make sure that she gets all the bugs that we found. Huh, Fifi? There she goes. So that is all gone. There's the tomato plants. We're gonna take those to our fire pit because some of them seemed like they were a little diseased. I do not want to add it to my compost. We added fake eggs to our nesting boxes, and I'll explain why we do that in another video. If you have any ideas of why we would do that, let me know. We have a carpenter bee friend. You better not eat my chicken coop. Do you hear me? Go on. Okay, so this one's all gone. Soil's been added to these, so we still need to add more soil. If you can see, these are only 12 inches tall, and the soil does not quite reach the top even with the soil that I added. So our soil from when we first put these in definitely compacted down. And we want to have at least the full foot of soil. I may even add a second frame. Now that we have this empty frame, I can add it on top and make it twice as high. That's something I've been considering doing. One, it would deter the chickens a little bit from hopping in, and two, it'll allow the roots to have a lot more grow space. So that's kind of what I'm thinking. We'll see what we end up doing. So the plan for this area now is we're gonna put a beam here, a beam probably about here, and one on this corner, and we're gonna enclose all of this and make it their new run. And it's gonna have a chicken wire on the top to keep any predators coming from above. We do have a wooded tree line all around us, so we want to make sure that any hawks, which we have found some, stay away. But this is going to look really cute. Joe's already looking at videos on how to make a planter bed box for underneath the window. So we'll add some color to it. Right now it's a little overwhelmingly white, and we're still having to do these two panels white, so definitely need some color over there. And then my reasoning for putting this empty one right here is to see how much space we have in between. And this is more space than honestly I think we need. So once these kind of die out, I may move this and kind of angle it the other direction and move it at least by about 1.5 feet, 2 feet, so that we have probably about 3-foot walkway, and then this is over, and then that'll allow us to have grow space for the gardening beds that I would like to put along this side. I'm not gonna bug you. I want to put a pollinator garden on this side, so all along here. So these will all be pushed over a little bit further, and then it'll allow more space. I'm trying to think of what else did we do. We started ripping out the okra, so there's only 4 of them left. They've just been pest riddled since we've gotten them. Actually, I'll do one while we're filming. Hopefully I don't look like an idiot, because they are pretty, there we go. They're pretty hardy, stems. There's my finger, there's my thumb against it. It's pretty thick. So they can be a little tricky to get out. Add that to the burn pile. Get rid of those bugs. Basil is probably going to be out by the end of this week. I might even do that tonight when we come out to hang out with the chickens. My jalapenos are still going, and I still want to make one more batch of our jalapeno pepper jelly. These guys are just not quite big enough yet, so I want to keep watering them, keep feeding them. I might actually give them some fish emulsion tonight and jazz them up a bit. But yeah, basil will be out soon. Tabasco pepper plant's still doing well. It's gonna stay. These 3 are going out. This tomato bed is kind of where the chickens hang out, as you can probably tell. So there's Winnie. She's a golden lace red Wyandotte. This is Oscar, who we're actually trying to rehome right now because we just can't have roosters. So, Oscar, you say bye-bye? This is also, we think, a rooster, but this is my husband's favorite, so he will stay. John Ralphio. He is a French black copper Moran. And then behind him is Ruby, our Rhode Island red. She's our oldest chicken besides Fiona. So this isn't going to move right now. And then, let's see, our cucumber plants are growing. The beans that I planted are not going. Our melons are ripening. I added more soil to these ones. I already ripped out the corn, ripped out the watermelons. I'm going to leave the pepper plants because they're still producing as well. I might do some carrots in here once we get more soil. Here's the chicken wire that I had around my big tomato garden. I'm probably going to do something similar around all of these until I put the second layer of bed on these to keep the chickens out, because they definitely pick at my plants and destroy them. But our tomato plant's looking good. I didn't end up putting the empty bed here, like I said, because I wanted to see how far away I had to go, like how far I could move the beds over. I'm just gonna check. Nope, no eggs. This is where Fiona likes to lay eggs sometimes. That's a sneak peek reason as to why we put those fake eggs in their boxes. Fifi! Fifi! Oh, is that so good? What a pretty girl. Alright, well, there we have it. There was our projects this weekend, and on top of that, we also filmed a goofy challenge baking video with my daughter and her best friend, and her best friend's mother is my best friend. So we filmed a silly baking challenge video with them. So we got a lot of stuff done, but it's looking pretty good. I'm happy, super happy. There we go.